Standard 6 History. Lesson number 1, the Indian subcontinent and history. Before I could start, I would like you to ask some questions. Number 1, how many continents are there? Name them. Number 2, which are the neighboring countries of India? Number 3, in which continent is India situated? Now children, you can write the answers of this question on a paper or in any notebook for homework. So, today we are going to learn about a new lesson, that is the Indian subcontinent and history. There are 3 important topics which we are going to cover in this lesson. Number 1, geographical condition and history. Number 2, geographical features of India. Number 3, the Indian subcontinent. We will first see about the geographical condition and history. There is a close relationship between man and environment. Last year, what did we learn, children, from EBS 2? We learnt about Stone Age period. You also saw how the Stone Age man flourished. Slowly, Stone Age man started developing himself by making various inventions and discoveries such as tool, wheel, fire, etc. The Stone Age man also started doing agricultural work, and due to that he realized that he must live nearby the water resources such as rivers, lakes, etc. Previously, he would wander from place to place, but later on he started living on one place due to agriculture. This led to small settlements. Settlements made small villages. Villages got developed into town, and then town developed into cities. What is history? History is a coherent account of the significant past events in the progress of human culture. What is coherent, children? Coherent means clear and logical ideas which are connected to each other and are easy to understand. History tells us about the past important events related to humans which can be easily understood. In history, time, place, society and individuals, these are the 4 important pillars of the history. Without these 4 pillars, we cannot write history. Amongst these 4 pillars, place is a very important pillar. Now, when you see any historical event, or if you learn about any historical event, you will be told about time, then place, then the society and individuals. Individual means humans. For example, if we take the example of Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj, we will come to know about Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj. Then the society. Here, the society is the Marathas. Then the time. Time period is from 1630 to 1680 AD. And then the place, that is Maharashtra. Place is a very important factor amongst all the 4 pillars. Place is related to geography or geographical conditions. History and geography are inseparable because history is influenced by geographical condition in many ways. So, place means geography. Now children, I am very sure you all know what is geography or what all you learn in geography. You learn about the earth or the places on the earth. You refer to map for understanding the location and extent of a place. So place means geography. So we can say that place is a very important pillar in the point of view of history. When we learn about history, it's very important that we have to also learn about geography or the place. For example, Marathas had acquired various territories of India. For that, we must refer to the map. Which places are being acquired by Marathas, or we can also say by Mughals. Secondly, we can say that geography has a great influence over history. That means geographical factors such as climate has a very great impact on humans, because history means it tells us about the society or the individuals. If there is a change in climate, it will definitely affect us. Diet, clothing, housing, occupation. These are the basic needs or the requirements of a life. These basic needs also changes as there is a change in the geographical feature. We will also learn about the geographical features. Geographical features means the various landforms, rivers, etc. When there is a change in climate, there is a change in the clothing. That means the clothes which we wear. For example, during the summer season, we wear cotton clothes. During the winter season, we wear woolen clothes so that we can protect ourselves from the climate. There is a change in diet, that means food, as there is a change in the landforms. Life of the people in hilly region is more strenuous than that of the people on the plains. Not much fertile land is available in hilly regions, while in the plains it is available on a large scale. That is why vegetables and grains are scarce in hilly regions, but it is sufficient in plains as there is more fertile land. So children, whatever is grown on a large scale in that particular area becomes the staple diet. For example, wheat is grown on a large scale in Punjab, so wheat is their staple diet. Jawar is grown on a large scale in Maharashtra, so bhakri is a staple diet. Also, the clothing style also changes from place to place due to the geographical characteristics. If we see the housing, houses also differ from region to region due to geographical factors. Places which receive heavy rainfall have sloping roofs so that the water does not get collected on the roofs and slip down easily. And they are also being built on stilts. Stilts means houses are built on a raised platform which is raised high with the help of bamboos so that the water does not enter the houses. Here we can see the picture of a terraced roof. So places which receive scanty rainfall have terraced roofs so that the water gets collected and can be utilized for rain harvesting. So children, this way we have seen that there is a difference in diet, clothing, shelter, occupation due to the change in the geographical factors. Human settlements have flourished wherever the means of living are plentiful. Over a period of time, these settlements develop further into villages, towns and cities. But due to some reason like degradation of the environment, drought, invasion, lead to the scarcity of those means. People are forced to leave their settlements. Villages and towns become deserted. We see many such instances in history. Thus we see that there is a very close relation between history and geography. Now children, answer the following questions and find out the answer from your history textbook. We will see the remaining part of this lesson in the next video. Thank you.